Welcome to The Explainer. So, every 4 years, the entire world basically hits the pause button for the FIFA World Cup. We see whole cities shut down, streets just flooded with color, and regular everyday people, maybe even you, suddenly crying tears of pure joy or literally screaming in absolute heartbreak. And it's all over people kicking a ball around on a screen. But why? What is the secret sauce that turns a simple sporting event into, well, pure magic? Today, we're going to break down the fascinating psychology behind our behavior to really understand the psychological alchemy of the World Cup. Seriously, why do billions of us obsess over a game? It's a genuine mystery when you take a step back and really think about it. Why on earth do we cheer, cry, and celebrate with such intense, worldwide emotion? I want you to reflect on that for a quick second, because the answer, as we're going to see, actually has very little to do with the actual rules of football. The real answer? It lies deep, deep inside the human mind. And we are talking about a staggering number of minds here, more than 2 billion. To put that into perspective, that is a scale of human attention that's almost impossible to even wrap our heads around. The World Cup is one of those incredibly rare events on planet Earth that legitimately brings together people from totally different countries, cultures, and backgrounds, all at the exact same time. The secret to how this massive obsession works isn't found out there on the pitch. It's actually found in our shared human psychology. So let's look at layer 1, identity and belonging. Psychologists point out that we naturally, deeply crave belonging to a group. I mean, it's hardwired right into our survival instincts. And the World Cup brilliantly illustrates that shift. Think about it. The second that tournament kicks off, you're no longer just a solitary individual yelling at a piece of glass in your living room. No, you instantly become part of a powerful, shared collective identity. You're part of the team. But here's a really fascinating paradox. Fans feel incredibly proud, even though they have literally never stepped onto the field themselves. Think about how strange yet kind of wonderful that actually is. During the World Cup, people will happily hug a complete stranger covered head to toe in face paint just because they're wearing the same country's colors. Why? Well, because supporting a national team makes fans feel like they're part of something way bigger than themselves. When the team scores, we score. When the team wins, we win. This shared identity dramatically strengthens our social bonds and creates just a profound sense of unity. Moving right along to layer 2, emotion, suspense, and underdogs. Okay, so how do feelings actually spread among millions of isolated people to create that massive, roaring crowd effect? The answer is something called emotional contagion. Basically, it's the phenomenon where emotions spread super rapidly from one person to another. Just picture it. Thousands of fans in a giant stadium cheering, singing, and celebrating in unison. The source material tells us that those emotions literally become contagious. It's so potent that even if you're watching thousands of miles away, sitting quietly on your couch at home, you can physically feel the excitement and energy transmitting right through your screen. You catch the emotion just like a psychological reflex. And what supercharges that contagion? Uncertainty. Our brains absolutely love uncertainty, because it keeps us completely, totally engaged. I mean, a match can flip on its head in a matter of seconds. A single goal, a sudden penalty kick, a dramatic, leaping save. These unpredictable game changers trigger massive bursts of excitement. Because the outcome is never certain, we remain heavily, emotionally invested right up until the referee blows that final whistle. So sure, we're hooked on the suspense, but we also fall completely in love with the story. Have you ever found yourself passionately screaming for a tiny nation you couldn't even point to on a map? Well, that is the underdog effect in action. It's our natural human tendency to admire the determination and root for the smaller teams against the towering giants of the sport. Humans just inherently admire perseverance. Watching an underdog team defeat a massive football giant creates this incredibly powerful emotional reaction that inspires millions of people around the world. We see their struggle, and we kind of reflect it right back into our own lives. Which brings us to layer 3, amplifying the shared experience. Let's zoom out to the macro level for a second. What happens when you drop those deep biological responses into our hyper-connected modern world? You get the modern fan cycle. Social media acts as an absolute megaphone for everything we just talked about. It amplifies these human emotions even further. First, you watch the event. Then you react emotionally. Next, you share those reactions, celebrating the goals, debating the referee's calls, or, posting your heartbreak. And finally, you connect globally with supporters everywhere. This constant looping interaction takes a deeply personal emotional experience and just blows it up. making the World Cup experience feel larger, louder, and way more exciting than at any point in human history. So let's bring it all together now. Identity, belonging, emotion, hope. In the end, the FIFA World Cup is clearly not just about football. It totally transcends the grass, the ball, and the net. It's actually a masterclass in shared human psychology. It's about tapping into the very core of what makes us human and sharing that exact experience on a global stage. I really want to highlight this incredibly poignant takeaway straight from our source material. For a few weeks, billions of people laugh together, celebrate together, and dream together. I mean, that perfectly captures the whole shebang of what we've been exploring. It emphasizes the truly unifying power of the tournament. The World Cup is just so much more than a sporting event. It's a psychological phenomenon that actually manages to unite the world like almost nothing else. Which leads us to this final kind of mind-blowing thought. If a simple game can unite billions of people, what else are we capable of sharing? When we finally understand the psychological alchemy of how we connect, we start to see the massive potential for human unity far, far beyond the sporting world. Think about that the next time you hear a crowd erupt in joy. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll see you next time as we continue to unpack the fascinating world around us.